cultivate a genuine sense of thankfulness when our minds are constantly buzzing with to-dos and deadlines? That's the question we're tackling today on Gratitude City. Diving into the world of balance, healthy tech habits, and ultimately how to unlock a deeper, more authentic gratitude right here, right now. A complicated relationship with technology. Let's face it, technology is woven into the very fabric of our lives. As tech developers and busy individuals, it's more than just a convenience. It's often the backbone of our work, our communication, and even our leisure. Think about it. We can connect with colleagues and loved ones across the globe in an instant, access a universe of information with a few taps, and automate countless tasks that used to consume hours of our time. From streamlining workflows to fostering creativity, the benefits of technology are undeniable. It has empowered us in ways our ancestors could only dream of. This powerful tool can also have a flip side, can it? That constantly connecting while offering incredible advantage, those advantages can also lead to a feeling of being perpetually on call to those distractions. The boundaries between our professional and personal lives can become blurred. As our inboxes ping late into the night, we might find ourselves scrolling endlessly through social media. I don't know about you, but over the last several years, I've had to just start deleting more and more stuff out of my social accounts and communications because it just took too much time. And even now, I spend myself deleting more things in my email than actually reading. And, that can be a very stressful experience, and there's different reasons for it. But with the dawn of technology, it really does oftentimes leave us with that perpetual feeling, of being on call to these kind of technical obligations that we've just left there. They're just on a device that has nothing to do with us as directly being human. It's just this kind of convenience, this idiosyncrasy that we thought of as a convenience that then is now, detracting certain things from our reality, or oftentimes subjecting us to things like additional stress when we're on our way to bed and we're still getting notifications. So that feeling of distraction pulling us away from the present moment, that's increasing not just for people in any particular country, but across the entire world. There's billions of people with cell phones in their pocket today. And oddly enough, then, as much as we all have devices, so we share this new collective oneness because we all have a cell phone, we all have internet, and we can all connect with each other at any moment. Well, these very devices designed to connect us can sometimes leave us feeling more isolated and overwhelmed than anything else. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, this relationship with technology. On one hand, it fuels innovation and efficiency. On the other, it can contribute to stress, anxiety, and the sense of never truly being able to switch off. We've become masters of the digital realm, but sometimes we can feel like its servants, constantly reacting to notifications and demands. Understanding this complex dynamic, this intricate dance between the benefits and the burdens of technology, is the first step in finding a healthier and more balanced approach, one that ultimately allows us to cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude for all aspects of our lives. So what do you do with this complicated relationship? That's where our good friend Dr. Chuckleberry might have some insights, or at least some witty observations. Here comes my alter ego, How does that set the stage for our discussion on technology? Well, let's find out with our dear friend Dr. Chuckleberry, shall we? This is chapter 3, and I'm Dr. Chuckleberry. Well, now, howdy, folks. Dr. Chuckleberry here, pulling up a virtual rocking chair. Yep, I'm pulling up my virtual rocking chair right now to ponder this technology contraption. You know, it's a mighty fine thing, this internet, and these pocket-sized computers y'all carry around. Faster than a scalded dog, they are. Can fetch you just about any darn thing you could ever want to know or argue about. But I tell you what, sometimes it feels like we're all so busy staring at them screens, we forget to look up and see the sunshine or hear the birds a singing. It's like we've got this whole world right up here in our hands, but sometimes our hands are so busy tapping and scrolling that we ain't truly living in it. This balance thing Abraham's talking about, it's like trying to ride a bicycle on a tightrope while juggling smartphones. You got to have a good feel for it, and you're bound to wobble a bit. But the trick is to keep pedaling and don't fall off completely into that digital ditch. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just put the phone down, step away from that computer, and go have a real conversation with an actual person. Maybe even out in the sunshine. You might just find that the best communication you make all day ain't through no Wi-Fi. Now, don't get me wrong, I ain't no Luddite. I appreciate a good cat video as much as the next fellow. But everything in moderation, as they say. Even too much of a good thing can turn sour, like too much sweet tea on a hot day. So let's try to use this here technology like a helpful hound dog, leading us where we need to go, not like a runaway horse pulling us every which way. Thanks for that folksy wisdom, Dr. Chuckleberry. You always have a way of bringing it back down to earth. Mindful tech and purposeful living. Dr. Chuckleberry brings up a really important point about being intentional. And that's where the wisdom of Wallace D. Wattles can offer us some guidance in our relationship technology. The Science of Getting Rich. In this book, Wattles talks extensively about the power of focus and directing our thoughts. The power of this book. Oh geez, where did I end up here? Sorry about that, guys. Okay, he talks about the power of our thoughts extensively, about the power of focus and directing our thoughts and energies towards our definite purpose. Now you might be thinking, what does that have to do with my phone or my laptop? Well, think about it this way. Our time and attention are finite resources. Even if we forget that sometimes, staring at the television or pulling the phone out of our pocket. Every minute we spend scrolling through social media or reacting to a non-essential notification is a minute we're not spending on activities that truly align with our goals and bring us closer to our purpose. I don't know about you, but I have the luxury of remembering being a kid without a cell phone. And now I have the wisdom of seeing kids with cell phones. And there's really not much exciting about it. I mean, it looks like an addiction. It looks like someone grabbing a bottle. It looks like someone going to pick up a cigarette. These people just run towards a phone. People stare at screens. I felt that way when I was a kid, and my grandpa introduced me to a computer at 2 years old. But at that time, I had to somehow memorize how to type CD \pharaoh just to get into the video game. So it required a certain intellectual prowess to interact with. And, I don't know if I was a genius, but I somehow was able to memorize DOS commands. And that gave me a sense of responsibility for interacting with this technology. I witnessed that it would require a certain intellect to be able to deal with technology. But today, a 1-year-old child could probably figure out how to do something on a cell phone. It's such a simple thing, and it's been designed now to interact with us biologically. I mean, it literally reads our biorhythms when we hold it. It can measure our heart rate. It can tell if we're in a state of stress or not because it can measure our heart rate. So it could literally present something different to a child depending on its emotional state. And that's as crazy as giving booze to a kid. I feel like you're experiencing something. You're handing someone something that's intoxicating, that's beyond their wildest imagination. The capacity within technology today, decades after my childhood experience, is rocket science compared to decades ago. And so now a mainframe computer my grandfather built 30 years ago, 50 years ago, that mainframe computer that was built half a century ago is now not as powerful. It's not even as powerful as the cell phone in someone's pocket. So I have a phone today that I bought my most recent phone for $40 uh, to replace a broken one. And $40, I have a more powerful piece of machinery than my own grandfather devoted decades of his life to build. That all it really did was calculate, things in milliseconds. It could calculate people's time cards in milliseconds and add all of that data up and then keep track of people. And then companies like Association of Directory Publishers, launched a payroll app that could be deployed across all businesses and then send, a regulatory data to banks. And then banks ended up with their own supercomputers to keep track of the time card system. And, that's the origin of computers, was basic calculation. And it took a lot of intellect just to work with those basic calculations. Whereas now we just have, infinite distractions at our fingertips. We have a tool that is more powerful than an individual human at most levels because it has access to the internet. It has access to a level of collective intelligence that was never there before. And it has access to businesses that have a certain influence based on whatever we look at. And those businesses have access to us as people. And that loop, that revolving door of intelligence that's in our pocket is beyond human comprehension right now. No one human can truly fathom the effects, the reaction, the future that will come due to this rise of technology. And we know that for a fact because in 2024, we literally surpassed the very law that we had come up with about technology. We surpassed Murphy's Law. And so at this point, looking towards these older, ancient, wise characters like Wallace D. Wattles, who existed during times when there was no technology, who could see clearly as to what it was to have a family, as to what it was to truly express gratitude, as to what it was to look into the future and have future gratitude affirmations, to be able to define that, to be able to refine gratitude for the self, to be able to see things beyond. That was something that these characters in the past could much more easily do. It was something that was attainable, right? And today, that's not easily attainable for any of us. Even with the experience of working with technology since its birth, I still have to admit in 2024, we surpassed Murphy's Law. That's an indicator. That is a significant milestone that dictates that humans will never, unless we simply removed our relationship with technology, we removed ourselves from that entirely, and then we negated the existence of technology and just deleted it all, we'll never reach a simple state again unless even something worse like a Armageddon or apocalypse type of scenario. We're not going to be able to strip all of our cell phones out. These are addictions that little kids are holding on to. Imagine if we had given kids alcohol at a young age. Do you really think they're going to set that bottle down once they become an adult? So, you know, expressing gratitude is not about spending time on activities that waste that waste our life away, that are related to non-essential things. Gratitude is a thing that we can cultivate, that as a tool we can use to expand, as a resource we can expand our well-being, we can expand our joyfulness. And it's not going to come from being grateful for staring at our cell phone or being grateful for the distractions in our life. You know, even if we can somehow be grateful for those distractions and come up with some type of justification, we need to go beyond that. We need to have a rational backbone to cultivate a serious awareness of what it is to become a man, to become a woman, to be an adult who thrives and goes beyond in this world to achieve something that leads to a successful family, a harmonious family. How do we align ourselves with that when, today our life is filled with those distractions from technology across the board that social media presents and leaves us reacting to non-essential notifications all the time? If we had to add up the amount of time that people are wasting collectively, with billions of us responding to non-essential notifications, when apparently, according to evolutionary Darwinianism and things like that, we had to work so hard and survive so hard as hunter-gatherers to get to this point. And now, what, we're just going to take it all for granted and just stare at our phones until we decay away? Is that the plan? I hope not. I think gratitude can really help us cultivate an awareness, a discipline, not simply fortitude, but not simply wisdom, but fortitude itself. And I think that together, as we explore the benefits of gratitude and we go into the wisdom of gratitude, that we can develop a fortitude that will help us overcome modern day challenges like our relationship with technology. Got a little bit long winded there. It's fun to go outside the script though and be able to directly share experiences. Thank you for giving me that space on the Gratitude City podcast. So, Wattles emphasizes the importance of living with the intention and focusing our mental energy on what we desire to create in our lives. He emphasizes the importance of living with intention and focusing our mental energy on what we desire to have in our lives. When we apply this principle to our technology use, it forces us to become more mindful. Instead of passively consuming whatever our devices throw at us, we begin to ask, is this technology serving my purpose right now? Is it helping me connect in a meaningful way? Is it contributing to my growth or well-being? If we don't have those factors, it can be very challenging to express and experience authentic gratitude, especially if we continue on a path of decay. This isn't about abandoning technology altogether, especially in our digital driven world. It's about becoming conscious consumers, using technology as a tool to enhance our lives, rather than allowing it to dictate our time and attention. Think of it like this. A chef uses knives and other tools with precision and intention to create a beautiful and nourishing meal. We should aim to use technology with that same level of mindfulness, selecting the right tools for the task at hand and using them purposefully to build a life that aligns with our values and aspirations. When our tech usage supports our purpose rather than distracts them, we create space for a deeper sense of fulfillment and, yes, gratitude for the progress we are making towards what truly matters to us. By being more intentional with our use of technology, we can reclaim our time and energy, freeing ourselves to focus on the activities and relationships that truly nourish our souls and bring us a genuine sense of thankfulness. The science of digital well-being and gratitude. So we understand the allure and the potential pitfalls of our digital lives. Now, let's look at what science tells us about the impact of technology on our brains and bodies, and how the practice of gratitude can be a powerful antidote to some of the challenges we face. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a renowned neuroscientist, often discusses how our attention is a finite resource, and the constant stimulation from our devices can lead to attentional fatigue and decreased ability to focus deeply. The endless stream of notifications and information can hijack our dopamine system, leading to a cycle of seeking instant gratification that can ultimately leave us feeling less satisfied and present in our offline lives. Gratitude, on the other hand, has been shown to activate different neural pathways, releasing feel-good neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin in a more fulfilling and sustainable way. By consciously shifting our focus to what we appreciate, we can retain our brains to seek satisfaction in more meaningful experiences rather than fleeting hits off our devices. The fleeting hits off our devices. Dr. Joe Dispenza, his work highlights the powerful connection between our thoughts and our physical reality. He emphasizes how repeatedly dwelling on negative thought patterns can actually reinforce those patterns in our brain. Excessive engagement with social media or constantly worrying about work emails can contribute to a state of chronic stress and negativity. Gratitude, as a conscious and intentional thought pattern, can help us break free from these negative cycles. By focusing on what we are thankful for, we shift our emotional state, and over time, this can actually rewire our brains towards more positive and resilient thinking. And Dr. Mary Jo Pulio's teachings on mindfulness further underscore the importance of being present. Technology often pulls us out of the current moment, either by distracting us with notifications about the past or future, or by keeping us tethered to virtual interactions. Gratitude is inherently a practice rooted in the present moment. When we take the time to truly appreciate what we have right now, the beauty around us, the people in our lives, the simple act of breathing, we ground ourselves in the present and create a buffer against the anxieties and distractions that our digital world can often create. Cultivating gratitude through mindfulness can help us find pockets of peace and appreciation, even amidst a busy and tech-filled day. The science is clear. While technology offers incredible advantages, it's crucial to be mindful of its impact on our well-being. By consciously integrating gratitude practices into our lives, we can leverage the power of our brains to navigate the digital landscape in a healthier and more balanced way. A sustainable balance. We understand the challenges and the science behind them. So now, let's talk about our practical steps we can take to create a more sustainable balance in our tech-driven lives. How do we move from awareness to action? We all know how technology affects us today. So how do we move into a state of action? Truly overcoming our technological addictions, finding a healthy state of gratitude that doesn't placate delusional desires to focus on non-essential tasks or trivial things that are meaningless to our overall well-being and joy in life. This is where the wisdom and motivational approaches of figures like Tony Robbins and Oprah Winfrey even can really guide us. Tony Robbins often talks about the power of taking massive action and creating clear boundaries in the context of technology. In the context of technology, this might mean consciously scheduling digital detox times, even if it's just for an hour or two each day, where you completely disconnect from your devices. It could involve creating specific work zones and personal zones within your home and adhering to those boundaries as much as possible. Think about setting clear start and end times for your workday and communicating those boundaries to colleagues and family. Just like Robbins emphasizes the importance of peak performance in your career, achieving peak performance in your personal life also requires intentionality and dedicated time. Oprah Winfrey has frequently highlighted the importance of prioritizing well-being and nurturing meaningful connections in our digital age. This means consciously choosing to engage in face-to-face interactions with loved ones, making time for hobbies and activities that bring you joy offline, and even being fully present in those moments. It's about recognizing that while technology can facilitate connections, it can't replace the depth and richness of human interaction. Think about scheduling regular tech-free dinners with family or dedicating specific time slots for exercise or creative pursuits where your devices are intentionally set aside. Oprah's emphasis on living a life of intention and gratitude reminds us that true balance comes from consciously choosing how we spend our time and energy. Furthermore, consider the power of mindful time management. Are you spending your digital time on activities that truly serve you? Or are you getting sucked into endless scrolling and distractions? Just like Robbins advocates for focused effort to achieve your goals, be deliberate about how you use your work technology and your personal technology. Utilize productivity tools to streamline your work, but also be willing to step away and disengage when it's time to recharge and connect with the world around you in a more tangible way. Creating a sustainable balance in our tech-driven lives is an ongoing practice, not a destination. It requires conscious effort, setting clear boundaries, and prioritizing the activities and relationships that truly nourish our well-being. The authentic heart of gratitude. We've talked about our relationship with technology, the science behind its impact, and practical steps for finding balance. Now, let's connect it all back to the core of our exploration, gratitude. When we begin to intentionally manage our technology, when we create healthy boundaries between our digital and offline lives, and when we prioritize genuine connection and purpose, something beautiful happens. We create the space for a deeper, more authentic gratitude to flourish. Think about this. When you're constantly bombarded by notifications, when your mind is racing with a never-ending to-do list fueled by digital demands, it's incredibly difficult to truly present and appreciate the good things in your life. Gratitude often requires a moment of stillness, a pause to truly recognize the savor the blessings that surround us. By stepping away from the constant stimulation of our devices, even for short periods, we give ourselves that space to breathe, to reflect, and to truly see the beauty in the simple things. A warm cup of coffee, a conversation with a loved one, the feeling of sunshine on your skin. This isn't about forcing yourself to be grateful. Authentic gratitude arises naturally when we are less stressed, more present, and more connected to our true selves and our values. When we're not constantly chasing the next notification or feeling the pressure of digital demands, we can more easily appreciate the relationships we have, the work that truly fulfills us, and the simple joys of everyday life. It's in these moments of presence and genuine connection that the heart of gratitude truly opens. It's a feeling that comes from a place of inner peace and entertainment, a quiet acknowledgement of the richness that already exists in our lives, often unseen amidst the digital whirlwind. The authentic heart of gratitude blooms in the fertile ground of a balanced life, one where technology serves us rather than consumes us, and where we consciously culminate moments of presence and genuine connection. Nurturing relationships in a connected world. While we navigate the complexities of our tech driven lives, it's crucial to remember the irreplaceable value of human connection. Our relationships with family, friends, partners, and even colleagues are often the greatest sources of joy, support, and ultimately gratitude in our lives. However, in a world where digital interactions can sometimes overshadow face to face connections, nurturing these vital bonds requires conscious effort and intentionality. Think about how technology can both help and hinder our relationships. On one hand, it allows us to stay connected with people across distances, to share important moments, and to offer support during challenging times. On the other hand, endless scrolling or the temptation to multitask during conversations can detract from the quality of our interactions, leaving us feeling more disconnected despite being technically connected. This is where the principles we've discussed throughout this episode might become so important. By being mindful of our tech usage, by setting healthy boundaries, and by reclaiming our presence in the moment, we create more space and energy to truly nurture our relationships. Putting our phones away during mealtimes, dedicating focused attention during conversations, and intentionally creating tech free time to spend with loved ones can make a profound difference in the depth and quality of our connections. And of course, gratitude plays a pivotal role in strengthening these bonds. Expressing appreciation for the people in our lives, both through our words and our actions, reinforces positive feelings and deepens our connection. Simple gestures of thankfulness, acknowledging their support, and letting them know how much they mean to us can create a powerful cycle of positivity and mutual appreciation. In a busy world, taking the time to express gratitude to those we care about is a powerful way to show them they are valued and to cultivate a deeper sense of connection and love. Our relationships are a precious gift, and by consciously integrating healthy tech habits and the practice of gratitude, we can ensure they thrive in our increasingly connected world. So, we reached the end of our exploration today on Gratitude City, focusing on finding balance and authentic gratitude in our tech driven world. We've navigated the complexities of our relationship with technology, explored the science behind its impact on our well being, and uncovered practical strategies for creating healthier boundaries and nurturing the vital connections in our lives. Remember, finding balance isn't about rejecting technology, but about using it mindfully and intentionally to support a life filled with purpose and genuine connection. By prioritizing our well being, setting boundaries, both online and offline, we create the space for authentic gratitude to flourish. And by actively expressing our appreciation for the people who enrich our lives, we strengthen those bonds and create a powerful cycle of positivity. If you found value in today's discussion, please consider sharing Gratitude City with someone who might benefit. And as we wrap up this Friday episode, I want to extend an invitation to our Sunday Spirit of Gratitude gathering, where we'll delve deeper into the broader spiritual benefits of thankfulness, connecting the themes we've explored this week with universal principles of goodness and well-being. You can find more information about that on our community page. Thank you for joining me on this journey to cultivate more gratitude in our lives, especially as we navigate the ever-evolving landscape of technology. Until next time, keep seeking that balance, keep nurturing your connections, and above all, keep shining bright. May the force of gratitude be with you. Remember, you can continue this conversation at our Reddit gratitude chat. That's reddit.com/r/gratitude. You can visit our website and subscribe at www.gratitude.city. That's like the .com, www.gratitude.city instead of .com. A quick but important reminder, the information shared on Gratitude City podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical or psychological advice. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional for any health concerns or before making any decisions related to your health or treatment. See you guys in the shorts, and look forward to seeing you perhaps this Sunday. Have a great weekend.